The most mysterious event in the world. The feral child who was raised by wolves. Dina Sanichar. On sighting him, the hunters were quite surprised to know that it was a young boy, no older than 6 years, who was living in the wilderness. From every indication, it appeared that the boy had been raised by the wolves. Being alone and isolated had affected him so much that he walked on all fours and exhibited other wolf-like characteristics like howling and grunting. He was described as having prominent teeth, a low forehead, and moved about in a restless manner. Dina was also very hairy, and for this reason, he was referred to as the Indian wolf boy. In an attempt to bring him back to civilization, the hunters took him to the Sikandra mission orphanage, where he was baptized and subsequently named Dina Sanichar. Sanichar means Saturday in Urdu because that was the day he arrived at the orphanage. Dina's struggle to adjust to civilization. The next few years were spent trying to rehabilitate Dina and make him function as humans do. The number of years he had spent in the wild had caused significant damage to him. It wasn't easy for him to adjust to his new life, and as the head of the orphanage, Father Earhart notes, Dina showed some signs of imbecility, although he equally displayed some level of good reasoning too. Several attempts were made to teach him how to read, speak and write, but he never learned any of it. He also never really figured out how to talk. Initially, communicating with Dina was difficult because he didn't understand the language and gestures of the missionaries who catered for him. In response, he would growl and make other animal noises whenever he needed to communicate, and sometimes preferred to walk around naked and eat raw meat. Although he started eating cooked food, he still showed a preference for raw meat. As time passed, he started understanding the language used, although he never spoke it himself. While at the orphanage, he made friends with another boy that had also grown amongst animals. That was the only person he related with during his stay there. In 1895, Dina died from tuberculosis. It is believed that his death was caused by his smoking addiction. Sadly, he never fully integrated himself into human society, as he hardly interacted and made little progress in adjusting to societal norms. The Historic Mysteries reports that Dina was also unable to understand sign language, and instead used to growl and howl just like a wolf whenever he wanted to express his feelings. It has been suggested that Dina's story may have inspired the character Mowgli in the Jungle Book stories. The book was written 20 years after Sanichar was discovered.